they were overshadowed by their male counterparts. So it was really nice to get to explore these strong, powerful women writers. So Willa Cather writes a lot about the prairie and living on the Western Front, but also, so her stories seem simple on the outside, but when you delve into them, there's a lot of undermining of gender and sexuality that she does, because she was a lesbian. She lived with her partner in the later years of her life. So you can see in her novels the way that she's questioning gender roles for women, even way back then. And it's also interesting because there's a way that she appropriates indigenous culture to frame her novels. So I've been really interested in seeing the way in which I could also point out some of the hypocrisy in her novels, or the way that her characters critique the status quo, but they also uphold it in some ways.
That is seriously sophisticated information. That's way above my pay grade. Well, it's an honors thesis, so hopefully it's something that nobody understands, right? I mean, that's what you're supposed to write, and when you write a thesis.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I'm wondering, in that class, was Celeste Ning in one of the writers that you guys studied because of her work with Little Fires Everywhere and the other books that she's written? Have you read any of her stuff?
I actually have not, surprisingly.
OMG, you have to. Yes, Little Fires Everywhere, and now it's on. Of course, I haven't read it, but I'm watching the episodes on Hulu. It's amazing, amazing. But some of these issues that you're talking about, they address. So I'm sure you would enjoy it. But we talked about, women's studies and leadership. So what about women leaders in your life? Like, who have you aspired to, or who's helped you most in your professional development? Has there been any specific people?
Well, every single English teacher I've ever had, just straight up, has helped me immensely. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just got lucky or if all English teachers are so good, but they've encouraged me to explore my writing in such amazing ways. I would not be the person I am without them. And also just peer teachers in general, like whether it's psychology, environmental science, karate, like I've met so many amazing women teachers who use their power and love of learning to help uplift other women too. And of course, I have to shout out the career advisors at Con, Deb, Lori, Cheryl, and Persephone, because I work with them almost every day and they're incredible. And of course, I could not be here without my mom. My mom is probably the strongest, most selfless person I know. And I know she's had to deal with a lot, having 6 kids and dealing with my mental health ups and downs. So I owe it all to her.
Shout out to your mom. What's her first name?
Lisa,
we love you. Lisa, hopefully she listens to this and she hears us giving her all this gratitude. And I love that you talk about your professors and your teachers, because I'm a teacher, and I do it because I really love to give back and inspire people, and that's why I started Supergirls. But I love that you recognize that in your teachers. I'm sensing that you might want to think about becoming a professor yourself, because you have so much to offer. But anyway.
Yeah, that's definitely on my radar.
Yeah, you should totally be. And then you can write, and then you can help others. Oh yeah. But going back to the Con girls, okay, they are the bomb diggity for sure. And what you guys have created at Con, I absolutely love the whole career course that you guys have. It's kind of like you get credit for it now. I can't remember the exact name. You probably know what they're calling it, but it's like career development course that you take in your senior year. I love that. I love.
Yes.
Do you? What's the actual? Yeah, what's the actual technical name for it?
I think it's career readiness. I'm so sorry, Dot, if you're listening.
No, it's all good, but it's a curriculum that was built specifically around helping students transition. And I think that more colleges should take a page out of Khan's book, because this is something that there's a huge, like, white space. There's a huge disconnect between what you learn in school, which is great stuff, don't get me wrong, and then what goes on in the real world. So I love that Khan put that together. I love that they offer it. It's like, you can get credit for it. And all those women that you mentioned, they all had a hand in it, and they rock in my book. So I'm so glad you brought them up.
Absolutely. They're awesome.
Amazing. Okay. So all of everything that you've been through right now recently, and, coming back from school and early and all of that, like, what advice do you have for other students that are kind of struggling at home? Do you have any kind of advice for them?
Absolutely. I think the key to surviving this whole situation, this whole pandemic, but then also once we emerge out of it, just college life in general, always reach out if you need help. When I was younger, I had this huge misconception that if I had a problem, I should just figure it out on my own. I shouldn't bother anyone else with it. I think it's also kind of the thing, especially with women, and especially like if you come from a different racial or socioeconomic background than is like what is considered quote unquote normal. You feel like you have to be better. You feel like you have to be so much more self-sufficient and independent, but it's okay to ask for help. And in fact, it's the only way that you're going to get better. So right now in the pandemic, I would reach out to your professors, your advisors, your friends, even if it's just to say hi, because we all need each other and we can get through it together. I don't think just because we have to physically distance ourselves doesn't mean we should socially distance ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, so many people take that for granted, and you have to keep hearing these messages over and over again, especially when you're in isolation. So I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. I know something that helps me as I'm watching a lot of TV, and I'm seeing all of my favorite stars on my favorite channel, the Hallmark Channel, come, and they did selfie videos, and they're just talking about how we're all in this together, and kind of cheering on the heroes, today's heroes, the people that are delivering groceries or delivering mail, and the healthcare workers, and all these unbelievable people that are keeping us all alive right now. So yeah, that stuff really gets me fired up, so I do. I think we're all in it together, and we just have to keep remembering, and it's not forever. It's going to be okay. So
absolutely.
So we have to wrap up the show, but I ask every guest for one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self, so we could share it with, these juniors and seniors on the rise.
Oh my gosh. If I could meet my younger self right now, I'd give her the biggest hug and tell her that she is smart, that she is capable. I feel like I was so afraid of the world when I was younger, and I didn't know what to do with that fear, but I really should have been less hard on myself, and I would tell myself right now, she doesn't have to be perfect. People will like her no matter what she thinks about herself. And for everyone listening right now, you just have to keep putting yourself out there. You can't be afraid to fail or make mistakes, because failure is essential to the path of success. And chances are a lot of people out there are believing in you, and you just have to believe in yourself.
That is so amazing. I could just picture having you reaching out, like seeing like a shadow of yourself coming down and reaching out and giving yourself a hug, your younger self. That is such a great vision. It's true. If you fail, trying is failing. So you have to just do it, right? I mean, success is failure turned inside out, just like you said. That's the only way you learn. And so, yeah, don't be afraid. Keep putting yourself out there. I think people get discouraged sometimes. And again, it's a message you have to keep hearing. So I think we all need to tell ourselves, that we're capable. It's okay. Love ourselves. And it's going to be okay. I have this daily oracle book that I look at, you turn to a page. You just like kind of feel it, and you kind of like know like what page do I turn to? You turn to a page, and today I opened it up and it said everything is going to be just fine. And it's like it is. Everything's going to be great, right? It's all about outlook and perspective, and meeting amazing people like you, Sarah. Thank you for being on the show. It was wonderful to finally meet you. And what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they want to learn more from you, get more advice?
Definitely look me up on LinkedIn. Shoot me a LinkedIn message. I love procrastinating my homework by refreshing my inbox. So please, come on up by. Give me a distraction.
Yes, go check her out. Go check out Miss Sarah, or check out the Khan career blog too, and for some of her amazing writing. So, okay, we have to go, people. It's been great, Sarah, for again having you on the show. Thank you so much. Best of luck with everything. And listeners, thanks for being with us. Thank you so much. Thanks, listeners, for being with us. And remember to give yourself a big hug and tell yourself that you're capable and smart, and go out and slay dragons.